Hey everybody, you ready for another deep dive?
I am always ready to learn something new.
Today we're looking into Sounds from Hell Records.
Oh, cool. Metal.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. Their website is our main source,
Did I?
and it's pretty interesting.
Awesome. What have you found out about them so far?
Well, they're based out of Nuremberg, Germany,
Germany, okay.
but they work with artists all over the world, not just in Germany.
Makes sense. Music is a global language, right?
Exactly. So they're a record label, but they do way more than that. They're like a full-blown music production company.
So like recording and all that jazz.
Recording, mixing, mastering, music videos. They even offer artist promotion and advertising services.
Wow, that's pretty comprehensive. Sounds like a one-stop shop for musicians.
Right. But what I'm really curious about is this emphasis on underground music styles that they mention.
Yeah, what does that even mean these days? I mean, isn't everything underground in a way with the internet and all?
You've got a point there. But their mission statement is all about preserving and promoting these underground styles. It's like they're making a deliberate choice to position themselves outside the mainstream.
Interesting. Almost like a countercultural movement.
And it gets even more interesting when you see the kind of merchandise they're selling. Band t-shirts with names like Sadistic Impalement and Absurd Obsession.
Yeah, okay, that definitely paints a picture.
It's an aesthetic for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Makes you wonder who their target audience is. Are they purists, rebels, or are they trying to bridge the gap between the underground and the mainstream?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Because on the one hand, they're all about these niche genres, but then they're also promoting a Spanish death metal band called Violent Carnage. Their album is called Deformation.
So death metal, definitely not top 40 radio material.
Not exactly. So are they trying to broaden people's horizons while staying true to their underground roots?
It's like they're saying, hey, there's value in all of this, from the obscure to the somewhat familiar, which I kind of dig, actually.
Me too. It's interesting to see how they're balancing those two seemingly opposing forces.
And they've got this global reach, too, working with artists from all over. I guess that speaks to the idea of preserving music's cultural significance, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Every region, every culture has its own unique musical traditions. And with digital music and globalization, those traditions are always evolving.
It's like a constant remix, isn't it? Borrowing and blending influences from all over the world.
Exactly. And Sounds from Hell seems to be right in the middle of it all. Almost like they're creating a sonic time capsule for future generations.
Yeah, I like that, a sonic time capsule. It makes their work seem even more important.
And it's not just through recording and promoting music either. They have their own radio show.
Oh yeah, the SFH radio show, right?
Yep. Airs every second Sunday of the month on Rockin' Radio in Germany. Hosted by Der Don from Hell. Any guesses what that's like?
Lots of leather and spikes, probably. A dimly lit studio. Maybe some chains hanging from the ceiling.
Totally. But seriously, what kind of music do you think they play? Is it all super obscure stuff or more of a curated mix?
That's a great question. I'd love to see one of their playlists. It would give us a better understanding of their musical philosophy, you know?
Yeah, be a window into their world, their definition of underground.
Right, because that definition is probably constantly changing, especially in today's digital landscape.
Okay, so we've got this global reach, this focus on underground music styles, and this mysterious radio host.
Definitely some intriguing pieces of the puzzle.
Now let's take a closer look at their website. What vibe are they going for online?
Well, it's not slick or polished. It's definitely got more of a DIY, almost punk rock aesthetic.
Interesting. So it's raw, a bit edgy.
Yeah, definitely. Bold text, striking visuals, lots of calls to action like get in touch and unlock your musical potential. They're not afraid to be a bit in your face.
But at the same time, they're really promoting the high quality of their production services.
Yeah.
Like they're saying, yeah, we're rough around the edges, but we know what we're doing.
Exactly. It's like they're offering the best of both worlds. The raw energy of the underground combined with professional polish.
You know, it's funny. When I first saw Sounds from Hell, I immediately thought, okay, this is going to be dark, chaotic, fire and brimstone.
Yeah, I get that. The name definitely conjures up some intense imagery.
But the more we look at their website, the more I see a company that's actually very thoughtful and intentional in their approach.
I agree. It's not just shock value. There's a deeper meaning there, a sense of purpose.
Yeah, it's like they're tapping into a specific energy, certain attitude.
Rebellion.
That's-
Pushing boundaries. Challenging the status quo.
And their website is just the tip of the iceberg. We've got a lot more to unpack about Sounds from Hell Records, so let's keep digging.
I'm ready. Let's see what other treasures we can unearth. You know, it's interesting how they're like walking this tightrope
Yeah.
between catering to a niche market and then operating on this like global scale.
Right.
How do they?
Yeah, how do they reconcile those two things?
Yeah.
Because you would think those are kind of opposing forces. In a
Yeah.
way. Like, are you going to be super niche or are you going to be worldwide?
Right.
But they're doing both. And I think a big part of it is their commitment to physical merchandise.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, they're selling CDs, they're selling vinyl, they're selling T-shirts.
In the age of streaming.
I know.
Right.
That's so interesting. It's like they're almost going retro in a way.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of the strategy.
Yeah, maybe it is like creating
It's tangible.
a tangible experience.
You can hold it. You can
You can have it.
it's got a smell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like a connection to the subculture.
It's like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
It's like I listened to Sadistic Impalement,
Exactly.
you know, and I got the T-shirt to prove it.
I was going to say that's a really good band name.
Yeah.
Sadistic Impalement.
Good one.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get it.
yeah.
There's just something about putting on a record.
Totally.
And look at the artwork.
You look at the liner notes.
You read the lyrics.
It's an experience.
You know, it's a whole vibe
Right.
that digital just can't replicate.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, you know, for these niche genres where physical sales might still be a significant revenue stream,
Right.
it makes sense to cater to that market.
Yeah. And it's smart.
It's smart.
Not only are they like tapping into a dedicated fan base that values that,
Yeah.
but they're also kind of like
Yeah.
sidestepping some of the challenges of the digital age.
For sure.
You know, where it's all about algorithms and playlists. And,
Yeah.
you know, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So this is a smart business move.
Yeah.
But I also think it speaks to their commitment to these artists.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like they're going the extra mile to create this really complete experience for the fans.
Yeah.
Which ultimately benefits the bands.
Exactly.
Speaking of their artists, their website has this latest projects section.
Oh, cool.
And it showcases some recent releases from bands like Edax Cadaverum
That's a name.
and Stones of Jordan.
Okay.
And they've got a video for Stones of Jordan's single Made to Die.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen this?
I have not. I've been meaning to check it out.
Okay, so it's a lyric video,
Okay.
but it's pretty intense.
Okay.
Lots of dark imagery.
Yeah.
Really heavy riffs.
Makes sense.
I'm actually checking it out right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Okay. This is definitely not something you'd hear on the radio.
Not at all.
But there's a rawness to it.
Yeah.
There's like an energy
energy.
that's really captivating.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it seems to be a common thread
Okay.
with a lot of the bands they work with.
Okay.
They're not afraid to like push boundaries,
Yeah.
to experiment with sound,
Right.
to be unapologetically themselves.
Yes. I love that.
It's refreshing,
It is.
especially in a world where so much music feels kind of
Yeah.
overproduced
Produced. Yeah.
and formulaic.
Yeah.
These artists are creating something that feels really authentic and visceral.
Yeah. They're not holding back,
No, they're not.
which is cool.
And Sounds from Hell is providing a platform
Yeah.
for that authenticity to be heard.
Yeah. It's like they're taking those raw diamonds and polishing them just enough to shine,
Right.
but not so much that they lose their edge.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like that.
It's fascinating how they're able to navigate the complexities of the music industry,
Yeah.
you know, appealing to both a global audience and a niche market.
Right.
It's like they found this sweet spot
Yeah.
where commerce and artistry kind of intersect.
Yeah, I agree. And their success might be an indicator of a larger trend.
Oh, interesting.
Like maybe people are craving something more authentic, something that speaks to their individuality,
Right.
something that challenges the mainstream.
It makes you wonder if Sounds from Hell is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know, are we witnessing a resurgence of interest in underground music?
Yeah, are we seeing like a rebellion
Yeah.
against the homogenization of culture? That's a great question. And if so, what role will Sounds from Hell play in shaping this movement?
Right.
Will they remain a niche label?
Yeah.
Or will they become this driving force that brings underground music to the forefront?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure,
What's
Sounds from Hell Records is a company to watch.
I think so too.
They're pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
They're challenging conventions.
Totally.
And they're making some seriously heavy music along the way.
They are.
And they're doing it all with a sense of purpose. You know, this commitment to preserving the cultural significance of these musical traditions.
Yeah. And I think it's easy to dismiss them because of the name
Right.
and the imagery.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to them than meets the eye.
Yeah. You know, we were joking earlier about the sounds from hell and the fire and brimstone and all that.
Right?
But maybe there's a deeper meaning there.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
Hell is often depicted as this place of rebellion,
Okay.
of those who refuse to conform.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Sounds from Hell is all about.
Yeah.
Giving a voice to the rebels, to the outsiders.
To the artists who are forging their own path.
Exactly.
That's
It's like they're reclaiming the idea of hell,
Yeah.
turning it into this symbol of creative freedom
Right.
and artistic expression.
That's a really interesting interpretation.
And maybe,
Yeah.
just maybe,
Yeah.
those sounds from hell are the sounds of a cultural revolution brewing.
Now, wouldn't that be something? It's wild how much they offer. You know, we've talked about the global reach
Right.
and their commitment to physical merchandise. But what really stands out to me is like their dedication to artist development.
Yeah.
Like they offer this full suite of services.
It's true.
It's not just recording and distribution.
Right.
It's mixing and mastering for artists all over the world.
It's unusual.
It is unusual for a label.
Yeah.
Especially a smaller label with such a niche focus.
Especially one that's promoting like sadistic impalement. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Most labels, they specialize.
Yeah.
But Sounds from Hell, they seem to be approaching this from like a broader perspective.
It's true. They're not just a label.
Yeah.
They're like a production hub.
Yeah.
A resource for artists.
At all stages of their careers.
Yeah, it's not just about signing bands and putting out records.
Yeah.
It's about nurturing talent,
Yeah.
providing guidance.
Expertise.
They're almost like a musical incubator,
Yeah, I like that.
helping these artists reach their full potential.
It's a very hands-on approach.
I think so too.
And I think it speaks volumes about their passion
Yeah.
for music. You know, they're not just in it for the profits.
Right.
They're genuinely invested in the success of these artists.
That studio in Nuremberg,
Oh, yeah.
I bet it's buzzing with creative energy.
I can only imagine.
All the collaborations happening.
Yeah.
The cross-pollination of ideas from different genres and cultures.
It's like a melting pot.
Yeah.
Of musical innovation.
And with their focus on underground styles,
Right.
you know, they're probably attracting artists who are really pushing boundaries,
Yeah.
experimenting with new sounds.
It's a recipe for something really unique.
You know, I keep thinking back to their tagline.
Oh, yeah. Unlock your musical potential.
Yeah. It's more than just a marketing slogan.
It's a philosophy.
Yeah, it's about empowering artists
Yeah.
to break free from the constraints of the industry.
To find their own voice.
Yeah.
It's a bold statement.
That is-
It makes you wonder,
Is
are
it?
they challenging the traditional power dynamics of the music industry?
Possible.
Are they trying to create a more equitable system?
Yeah.
Where artists have more control over their music and their careers?
If they are and they're successful,
Yeah.
it could have ripple effects throughout the whole industry.
Imagine.
Imagine a world where artists are no longer beholden
Yeah.
to the whims of major labels,
Right.
where creativity and authenticity are valued above commercial appeal.
It's a tantalizing vision.
It is.
And Sounds from Hell, with their unique approach
Yeah.
and their unwavering commitment to underground music,
Right.
they might just be the catalyst for that change.
We've gone deep into Sounds from Hell Records today.
We have.
We've explored their website, their mission, their services.
Their aesthetic.
We even speculated about their mysterious radio host.
Yeah, Dear Dawn from Hell.
What's your biggest takeaway from all this?
You know, for me, it's the realization that Sounds from Hell is more than just a record label.
Yeah.
They're like a cultural force, a champion of artistic expression,
Right.
and potentially a disruptor in an industry that's often resistant to change.
And they're doing it all with a heavy metal edge.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
You know, it's a reminder that passion and authenticity can still thrive,
Yeah.
even in the darkest corners of the music world.
Here's something to think about.
Okay.
We've been looking at Sounds from Hell through the lens of their website.
Right.
But what about the artists themselves? What are their experiences working with this label?
That's a good question.
How has Sounds from Hell impacted their careers?
It would be interesting to hear their perspective.
Yeah, it might be worth exploring those perspectives to get a truly well-rounded view of this company.
I think that's an excellent point.
Yeah,
And a perfect place to wrap up our deep dive.
I agree.
We've given you a glimpse into the world of Sounds from Hell Records. But the story doesn't end here.
No.
Go explore their website, check out their artists, maybe even tune into their radio show.
Yeah.
You might just discover your new favorite band.
Or even find yourself inspired to unlock your own musical potential.
Thanks for joining us.